Hey, how's everybody doing? Doing some water changes in the fish room. Thought I'd show you guys some guppy fry. I'm going around cleaning tanks, doing about 70% of the tanks today, the other 30 tomorrow because I don't have time to finish them all. But I'm spawning a lot of fry. I want to go through and show you guys some of the guppies we got going on right now. And let's take a look. This tank here is my 20 long. I've been breeding super red bristlenose plecos in here. But just today I spotted a whole bunch of fry back here. Probably about 2 hours ago I only saw maybe 5 or 6. But I'm doing water changes. I add a bunch of baby brine shrimp to this tank to ensure that the babies get fed and the parents wouldn't feed on them. Here they are, there's the male and female. And I was getting a little concerned because I've had this female in here for about a month with no babies. And I was curious what was going on. But today, sure enough, there's probably a good 20 fry in this tank. And they're all kind of schooling up in that back corner. I don't know if they were all hiding in the bottom. I use this acrylic yarn. It's really good for hiding places. It also grows beneficial bacteria. But they can hide in there and it keeps the water extra filtered with a lot of good bacteria. So there they are. Hopefully we don't see her eat one while we're watching. That would be bad. But she's actually eating on baby brine shrimp. See, she's kind of biting. A bunch of baby brine shrimp in there. You can see they swarmed out of the way. They're smart. They know they've probably got chased a few times. They know they need to avoid the parents, and if they go after them a lot, they'll go ahead and they'll dive into those plants and hide till they're big enough to get away from the parents. Another tank below us, we have a tank full of fancy guppy fry. These are the ones we pulled from our crossbreeding guppy project. That's the purple delta male and some nice fancy females with a lot of coloration. They're getting big. They're probably about, 30 days old. So they're putting some size on and they're just all over this tank. I got some plecos growing out in here, but everywhere you look, this tank is full of fry and they don't really hide much because there's no need to, because they've been removed from the parent. So they're growing really well. They're getting a lot of food because they're not competing with parents and constantly hiding until the parents leave them alone. So they can go ahead and just go get all that food. Those guys are doing pretty well. Zoom in on them a little bit. Probably not showing much color yet, but they're all healthy. They're growing at a consistent rate. And I'll jump over and show you some fry in this tank because I need to move the water change hose. I'm filling right now with my Python hose. Here we have just 2 random females. This yellow one has dropped some fry and they're down there at the bottom. See, they're kind of getting swooshed around. You can tell their coloration. They're from the yellow female. But they're swimming all over the place. There's probably only a dozen of them in this tank. This tank's almost full. Let me move that water change hose and we'll look at another tank or two. Down here on the floor tank, I tried to find these guys the other day, but now I actually can see them. There's probably about 6 or 7 out. I'm sure there's more hiding. This is the second generation of the fancy guppies. So you can see there's some of the females. And you can see maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fry there in the middle. I know there were more. They're still darting around through the plants hiding. I use those not floating plants, but it's like a mat. And I hang them upside down and they float. They do really well for hiding places along with some more acrylic yarn. Hard to see, there's not a ton in here, but these guys are pretty young. They're probably about 2 days old, 3 days old. See if we'll focus in on one for us. A little bit, not too much. It's a tank on the floor too, it's hard to get down here. These guys are older, but they're right next to us, so look, those are some purple Delta guppies. These are for sale on my website. And these guys would be just starting to sex out. So we got males and females. The males have a lot of growing to do on their tails, but they're growing well as also. There's plenty more fry in the fish room, but this will be the last tank I'll show. This is another tank of the purple Delta fry, and they're waiting on a big water change, so their tank's not filled right now. But you can see they're all swarming together. There's probably a good 30 to 40 of them in here, probably about 3 dozen. And these guys are, I think, a week old. So they're already getting pretty big for only being a week old. Growing consistent, they all seem healthy. I don't see any crooked backs. If there are, I'll take care of that. But as of right now, they're looking great. And they're just down here in this 10-gallon tank. awaiting their tank to be filled from the water changes. That's it today, guys. I just want to show off some fry. I was real excited to spot all those red Delta babies I showed first, so that's pretty cool. If you like guppies and you like my videos, please comment and like below. And go ahead and check out my website, Bianco's School of Fish. Bianco's School of Fish is the name, biancosfish.com is the URL. So if you guys are looking for some guppies to breed, go ahead, check out that website. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned for the next video.